In this video, we're going to talk about RCI points. In this video, we're going to talk about RCI point, how to use them, how to best use RCI to get the best vacation possible. So first, let's start with a brief history of timeshare. It started in Europe in the 1960s. They believe mostly in Switzerland because of the fact that flights starting to be something more available. So people decided to build a lot of chalet at one point and realized that it would have been way cheaper to have multiple owners of the same chalet. And also it was very difficult for members and people to actually manage to get their favorite weeks in the winter to go skiing. So having a week that you're guaranteed to have every time was the best way to go. So that's why it started. And the term timeshare, if you're curious, it started with computers in the United States because back then the computers were huge and very difficult to have time on. You couldn't just have one in your house, right? It's not like today with PCs and iPads. So they had to reserve their time to use the computer, thus the term timeshare. Now, with RCI started in 1974, which is basically the name for RCI is Resort Condominium International, so which is basically how it started with condos, and the business really picked up very quickly because of the fact that condominium were very easy to get. A lot of people had overbuilt condominiums and they didn't know what to do with them. So the best way was to actually get people to timeshare the condos instead of selling it at a very low price. So today RCI is 7,000 locations around the world, 1,600 in the United States alone. So the points system started in 2001. That was after a lawsuit. So because before the point system, it was tremendously difficult for people to manage to get any sort of condos access. Because if you had a condo, let's say you buy your property, and it's still true today to a certain degree, okay? Actually, the point, I'm going to talk to you about that. When you need to use your points, this is where it's very, very tricky. And that's why I don't really use RCI much because of this. So back in the days, if you had a condo and you bought your timeshare, let's say in Mexico, but you wanted to travel to Switzerland, for example, then it was almost impossible for you to do that because nobody in Switzerland with a condo in the Alps wanted to, end up in especially if you had 3 bedrooms and, very luxurious accommodation in the Alps. Why would you exchange that week for somebody that has only a condo in, let's say, Mexico with only 1 bedroom? So they started to have a point system which attributed point for multiple things like location, the size of the condo, the number of bedroom, how attractive the location is, also the season, and basically the member evaluation as well. So sort of a rating. So the more people like that location, the more point it costs to get there. In that same lawsuit and other that followed and other changes that happened over the time in RCI, the other thing that changed was also the fact that with the point system, when they started it, you couldn't roll over your point in the next year. So you ended up losing your point at the end of the year if you did not travel. And on top of that, you had to pay your maintenance fees. So that was pretty bad. Nowadays, your point can roll over. So if you had point that you didn't use this year, you can use them the next year. And to a degree, if you don't have enough points, you can borrow point from the future, so from the second year, in order to use them in the first year. So that actually helped a lot. And this is why today with your point system, it's a bit better. Here I have a PDF that I'm going to put in the description below for download where you have all your points. So you can see very easily that if you try to reserve something, let's say in Switzerland, it's going to be, let's say, 100,000 points for the week. But if you try to do it in Crete, that could be only 30,000 points. So you could clearly understand why when I mentioned that people had trouble exchanging before, that it's exactly that. You could have something that's considered 3 times more valuable and you wouldn't be able to actually trade it. And that happened to me actually when I went to Crete, and that's why I'm using that example back in the days. And it was very tough to try to get like people to exchange your week with you, especially if you have the shorter end of the stick. Now, let's talk about RCI Reservation Window. So essentially, the secret here is this, okay? You cannot reserve for more than 2 years in advance, I don't really see why you would. I'm the type of guy that actually reserve very quickly. I don't use RCI much. Again, I'm telling you this, all honesty, I'm a member of RCI because I'm an Hall of Fame member with Hard Rock and in Cancun and other resort of Hard Rock. But the idea is this, okay? I try to reserve 3 months in advance normally, which with RCI doesn't work. RCI, the ultimate window is 10 months. So you have to know 10 months in advance in order to be able to book your week. And you have to exchange your week in that time frame. So once you deposit your week, you pay $150 for your week deposit. Price may change. Okay, right now at the recording of this video, it's $150. And then you deposit your week. If you don't use it, your week can be deposited and stayed in the depository for 2 years. But if you don't use it, then you will lose it. And this is exactly why a lot of people online right now are complaining, because with COVID-19 they can't travel. So what will happen to their week? Will RCI be nice and say, okay, you can carry it a little longer, or say, no, the contract says 2 years, you're done? So that you have to be careful with. You can easily do the reservation online now. You don't even have to bother calling anybody. So you just go on your RCI interface and you're going to just deposit your week and pay the $150 to your credit card, and then you're done. Then you can start your search. There's something that's called an ongoing search. So you will see that in your interface online when you're a member. So with the ongoing search, you can ask the system to give you certain parameters. So if you try to go, for example, in Crete or in, let's say, Switzerland, it's extremely rare that you're going to have, there's not many resorts. It's very rare that you're going to be able to have a week there. So you can leave an ongoing search, and if ever there's something available, you're going to be notified. And you have to be quick, because if you don't make a decision quickly, then it's going to go to the next bidder. So this is where sometimes RCI is a bit difficult, because the very praised locations like Hawaii or like I said, Switzerland or Italy, for example, Sicily, it's very tough to get any kind of deals there, and it's also very difficult to get even weeks deposited there to use. So you may have to wait a year or two before you travel. So this is one of the things that I'm having a bit issue with. Where RCI is amazing, where you can really make good on your timeshare, is with the last call vacation. So the way it works is simple. Okay, so a lot of hotels and resort around the world, the model is simple now. They don't want to have any vacancy at all. A vacant room is basically a loss of money. They have to pay electricity for the room. They have to pay everything anyway, and the room is empty. So it's a net loss when you have empty rooms. So what they do is they're going to call RCI, deposit a bunch of weeks on the system, and then you can get those weeks for 9,000 points. Plus, of course, your extra fee that you have to pay, your 150 fee or whatever the fee that you have to pay. If it's less days, it's going to be maybe $50, $69 or something for those nights. But instead of having a week that's like 100,000 or 90,000 like I've shown you, it's going to be simply 9,000. So that's a very good deal. You don't use much of your points and you get to have those weeks. Another thing that's even better, but it has to be a full week, is the extra vacation. Now, extra vacation is the exact same concept. They're really last minute, first. And second, they only apply for 3-star hotels. So if you're traveling like me only to 5-star hotel, then you won't be able to use that. But you can have those weeks for as low as $350. And they even transferable, so you can bring a guest with you. So this is very good deal. I mean, honestly, $350 for a week. Yes, it's a 3-star hotel, but normally it would still be something around $150 a night. You end up getting them for $50 a night, more or less. So that's very good. Here again, you have to be tremendously quick, because those goes very fast. There's not that many available, and with 3 million members, trust me, they go very quickly. So you have to be careful when you want to reserve one of those. You have to make your decision quick, and of course, it's where they have availability. Now, the one issue that you have to contend with those weeks is the fact that plane tickets might be a problem. You have to travel in that specific week on those specific days. So that means that if the plane ticket's more expensive, you're not going to have a choice. You'll have to buy it and fly. If not, well, you're going to lose your week and your money. So RCI Platinum and how that works. What's the benefit of RCI Platinum? So basically, the first thing is, in most locations, you will have up to 11 free attractions. So depending on where you are. Of course, if there's nothing around, then that won't be applicable. But in a lot of locations, you're going to see that you can go to different activities, so you don't need to buy the tickets. So museums and other kinds of water park or something like that. So you can get them for free. Complimentary unit upgrade and exchange. So basically, this you have to ask in advance, which is kind of weird. I don't exactly understand why, but anyway, you can always ask it in advance when you do your booking. Say, if there's any better room available, please give me an upgrade, and they'll give you an upgrade when you get to the resort if there's a room available. Saving dollars. So basically, you would have percentage reductions on pretty much everything that the resort has, or if you have an activity you want to do or something like that. As a platinum member, you will end up having a certain percentage reduced. Priority access. So that's the same thing. So when there is an upgrade available, well, they'll give it to the platinum before giving it to a regular member. Or if there is a resort that's now just offer new weeks, or a new resort being built, new resort being access to the RCI membership, you will have access to go there first to try it out if you're a platinum member. You have more time to enjoy your points. So essentially, the rollover, sometimes some people only have 1 year rollover, you would have 2. 10% off on last call. So when I mentioned to you about the last call, which is basically a resort that you can go at the last minute, that costs you $9,000. Well, in your case, it's gonna cost you basically like $8,100. You have 10% off on that. When I mentioned also about the ongoing search, so the ongoing search, you normally have to deposit your week and deposit $150 to start the ongoing search process. If you're a platinum, it's free. You don't have to deposit your week. So if they cannot find anything, you didn't deposit a week and you didn't pay $150 for nothing. And then you have first dibs on RCI vacation. So the same concept. They publish the weeks that are available a few days earlier for platinum. You'll have access to basically use them before the members. So that gives you an advantage. If you're looking for something specific, something rare, then the platinum members will have access to it before others. So other benefit, that'd be like a $25 off per cruise, which it's not something that I really care much about, but it's $25 off per cabin per cruise. And the priority answer. So basically, if you have any issues and you need to call RCI, they'll answer your call first. And the last one is the free transfer point. So and that could be good if you're actually selling your week. A lot of people online on eBay and in different groups are actually selling their weeks. If you do that, then you don't have to pay any extra to do it. If you're a regular member and you want to, let's say, sell the week to somebody else, you're going to have to pay a transfer fee for every point you transfer. So that's it. I also read the forums and other things. Basically, the thing that the platinum members say they use the most is the fact that you have the deal 1 day ahead of everybody else. So that gives you a chance when there are great deals available to just get access to those deals first. That's basically the thing that the platinum members are saying they like the most. So this was part 2 of RCI Points. I'm going to have a second video that's going to give you a lot more information about it, because there's a lot to cover and I wanted to make it in 2 separate videos. It's a bit easier. It's easier to swallow. There's a lot of information. So I'm going to do that in a separate video, and as soon as I do, I'll link it in the description below. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and give me the thumbs up. I'm going to make a video like this almost every single day, teaching people how to move around the world, travel, how to prosper anywhere. If you have any experiences, if you travel anywhere, please tell me where you travel. Put it in the comment below. If you have any questions, I do answer my comments. And also, if the question is broad enough and I think enough people need to hear the answer, I'm going to definitely make a video about it. Also, if you want to learn how to make money, how to prosper, I retired at 33 years old, multimillionaire. How I did that internationally, online and offline. And I have a sister channel that's teaching exactly how to do that. So if you want to travel and make money anywhere, this is the channel for you.